All right, we are putting everything all together right now, so get out your frying pan and the heat ready. Chef Marco, tell us what to do.
You got it. If you're not a big steak eater, and this was a point that was brought up to me, if you're vegetarian, if you want to take an eggplant and slice it nice and thick, call that a steak, or a zucchini, this works perfect. This is a great dish for vegetarians. And if you don't like steak and you want to use chicken, that works perfectly too. So, enough horsing around. Pan's on medium to high heat. I oiled it, a little bit of marinade going on. We're going to sear it oil side down.
Oil side down.
This is going to take about a total of 6 minutes, and it'll be medium. So we're going to cook this on one side while we prep our sauce. Fresh vegetables, roasted pepper, or red pepper. We didn't roast it, it's red pepper. We're just going to wash it, make sure you get all that wax off.
Yep.
And then we're going to slice it thin. You want to julienne it. And remember how I told you, make sure you never look away from the knife when you're cutting. That's dangerous. You want to put this right in here with the steak. We're going to do that again with the onion. And again, I'll watch what I'm doing this time, I promise.
I'll watch for you.
Okay. So it seems like every dish I make has one common ingredient.
The garlic.
The eau de garlic. And this is the Italian ingredient that everybody has to have. And I left it thick. Well, I left it thick. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook those together. And it's just going to bring out a little bit more oil, a little bit more flavor into the garlic, into the vegetables, into the tomato sauce.
You don't have to add any more oil to that, to the pan?
No, I'm using a nice Teflon pan, and it won't stick. If you want to add a little bit for the vegetables, that's fine.
Okay.
If you want to just give it a little touch, or I know how you really like butter. We're going to throw the butter in there.
It certainly does.
And this is going to caramelize the vegetables a little bit, so it's not going to hurt it. See that smoke? The other side is seared. Look at that.
Seals in the juices.
Seals in the juices. As those vegetables are cooking, we have some red wine. This is just a basic burgundy wine. Chopped tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes. Get the plum, crush them up. Use the juice. If you can't find those, just a crushed tomato works perfect.
San Marzano tomatoes, I've been hearing so much about there. Is there a real difference in taste with the regular canned tomato?
There is. It's a little sweeter, a little more traditional tomato, which when you pull them off the vine, you know, it's kind of, you know, you eat that regular tomato that's chopped up, it's drier, it's not as sweet, it's not as intense. The San Marzano brings out the taste of Italy.
The hearty.
Yeah, the hardiness. So we got our vegetables cooking. We're going to add our red wine to it. And we're going to add our tomatoes to it. I always like to season my vegetables afterwards. We're going to put a little crushed pepper to give it a little kick.
Love that.
And we're going to add a little more greenery to it.
Does parsley offer anything other than good looks?
It's got a little bit of a taste to it, and it actually fights bad breath. I don't know if you knew that. Now, make sure you don't
Had a lot of garlic
you don't have
today.
any hanging out in your teeth on the camera. So we're going to chop a little fresh basil and a little fresh parsley. And I just rough chop everything. I'm not, because I'm wearing this funny jacket doesn't mean I'm doing all these technical things. I just ran a knife through it real quick. Simple, quick, fresh. I'm staying out of the drive-through lane. You know, these dishes are fast to cook on your way home or once you get home and before you go to swimming practice or
Some
soccer
Romano
practice.
cheese just on top too?
A little bit of Romano right in the sauce. And you know how I like to finish everything with a little grated cheese?
Yeah.
It's always better with that.
But you haven't even mixed it around. At this point, I'd be stirring, be going a little crazy. Is this better just to let it simmer?
Normally, I would toss it around if I wasn't wearing a white jacket. So I don't really want to wear all those tomatoes. So you have red on. If you want to stir it, you could. You can be my guest. But my steak is about medium rare.
That.
Now I'll turn it around a little bit, and I'll do it slow so I don't splash it all over the kitchen.
And this is still on high heat?
This is still on high heat, exactly. We're going to let that reduce. We're going to let this rest for a second.
Okay.
I just want to tell you about a project that I'm working on.
Okay.
I'm part of Come Dine With Me. It's a restaurant show. It's about the food service industry. It's about the people that love food in Buffalo, the culinary scene. And I'm one of the co-star chef. Did I say that right?
You did.
I'm working with Tucker Curtin from The Steer, Krista Van Wagner of Curly's, and Mr. Art Christie, the world's famous caterer who let us use his beautiful kitchen today.
Thanks,
and the chemistry among us guys is just amazing. We have a ball. And you got to tune in Sunday nights at 10:30 on CW23.
You're telling some funny stories about that. You're cooking with kids as well as adults all over the community.
We are. And one of the episodes, I cooked some wild duck with one of the girls, and she absolutely hates duck, and she's got the best facial expressions of anybody I know.
10:30 Sunday nights.
10:30 Sunday nights, CW23.
All right, can we put this on? Can I
So
have
we
a
are
little
going to
taste?
top it with our pizzaiola sauce, just a little bit. Remember I said we're getting
Yep.
some fresh mozzarella?
Ooh.
And I'm going to top it again because the hot sauce is going to melt the cheese a little bit. Let me ask you, Victoria, have you ever
No.
seen love?
That
There you
is just,
have it.
it's singing to me. It's singing to me.
Pizzaiola.
It's going to
That's
sing to
it.
me, and I'm going to try it when we come back. But we are also going to have ideas on second helpings if you have leftovers.
That's right.
Back to you.